Thank you for listening to Lying Flat with Ramsey Badawi. By hearing this, you agree to the terms of services of this podcast. In doing so, you are giving permission to Ramdog Enterprises, also doing business as Ramsey Badawi, permission to access your location, camera, and microphone at any time. All data collected is used explicitly to improve quality and service. Data may be sold at corporate discretion.
They're good shows, but it's like $100 for two. Like,
it's too far.
There's no way to not lose money on it.
They're having the same problems, and then they'll adjust quicker. But they're having the same problems that a lot of the comedy clubs have, which is like you got to adjust for inflation on some level. And like pre-pandemic, truly $100 was worth it, and then now you're like it is $200 when you add up the IRS 55 cents a mile.
Is that what they're at now?
55 cents a mile.
It used to be like 13 cents a mile.
Bro, everybody thinks I'm fucking around with inflation.
Who thinks you're fucking around? Who is questioning you that there's inflation?
Well,
do you hang out with billionaires? Are you hanging out with people? Do you do the price of milk challenge with your friends?
Every single day.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, it's a
You ask they do it in Succession, but I actually heard of it before Succession in economics, where they the head of
home economics or regular economics?
Home ec, yeah. We were making cookies.
And
that's why we needed the milk.
Home economics seems like a poor name for that class now that I think about it. There was hardly any economics going on.
I think they just wanted the girls to feel
like they
were participating in the economy.
Yeah, that was a fun class.
By making cakes.
Remember how secretly, and by the way, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just start right now. I don't want to get too deep in like we're in, we're out, are we in? Have we started? Can I curse on this? You can curse on it.
What do you think? Oh, thank you. Can I say fuck you?
You could.
To Zach?
Yeah, to Zach all day long.
Fuck Zach.
Shout out to Zach, who's manning the producer pod right now. Thank you so much for that, Zach.
Sure thing.
Home economics. Was there anything? Do you remember secretly loving it, but then also having to put on a face that you didn't love it?
I never took it.
You never took it?
No, I took tech ed. I was doing I had a fake radio show. I was screen printing. I was doing all that.
They were setting you up for. They were like,
a life of podcasting.
Let's get this guy set up for a hard labor.
yeah.
Let's not put him on the college track at all.
You're the kind of guy who's going to have to print his own T-shirts in whatever you do, whether it's your pod or your bands.
That's why I thought you would have loved. I thought you would have been great at home ec, sewing patches onto your shit, doing a pillow. I remember we used to have to do it. Everybody had to do it in my school, and I remember secretly being like, I love this so much, but also like having to show people like I'm not gay though. Like I don't actually like this. Right. I wish this was wood shop. I would say out loud to nobody.
You put one chocolate chip in the middle of your cookie so it looks like titties.
Yeah.
Isn't this sexy? These titties that I love so much.
I remember making a potato cheddar soup, and
what school did you go to?
I went to Pilgrim High.
Were you in prison? Potato cheddar soup?
Yeah, it was
that sounds like some shit they would serve you in jail.
Right before the unit where we were doing stick and pokes. But we were doing. I remember like a bunch of. I was like getting women to come eat my soup. Yeah. Which. This is a halal program, so I don't want anybody taking this out of context.
Does Islam have anything like the Jews have about like dairy and meat?
Let me stop you right there. No.
Dairy and meat's fine. It can touch the same plate.
All day long, baby.
That's nice.
We're not, to borrow a word from the Zach's people, fakakta like that. You know what I mean? We're a pretty straightforward religion. Everything is very logical.
Do you think part of the reason why a lot of Jewish members of society have been so financially successful is the fact that if they practice, they're required to have two kitchens? I mean, in a I'm not making that up, am I, Zach?
Wait,
they have the dairy kitchen and the meat kitchen, and never the twain shall meet. You've never seen this? You've never been in a kosher house? You've never been in a kosher household?
I've only been in a house where they do that with like the plates and utensils, not a whole separate kitchen.
Oh damn! When I was in Germany working for Jewish families, they had two kitchens. Upstairs kitchen, downstairs kitchen.
That seems like I assume you were working with Orthodox families.
Yes.
Yeah. We don't fuck around like that. We have halal, of course, and that one makes the most sense. I mean, kosher makes no sense whatsoever. I hear the laws of kosher, and I'm like, okay, but what about slicing the thing's throat? What is that part of kosher?
It's supposed to be killed in like the most humane, like quickest way possible.
And what is the quick? Do you know what the quickest way possible is?
Cut a corner of its throat and let it scream and bleed out while it's hanging from its hoof.
Yeah, but do you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim before or no?
Ask him. I don't know.
I've never been kosher. My family's never been kosher.
Never been kosher. Zach is one of the most interesting guys on the planet. Arab mother who hates Arabs. I mean, I guess that's pretty common.
Everyone.
She hates everyone, to be fair.
me the most, but
yeah. No, I mean, and wait, Zach, your mom, you had a surrogate mother because she just didn't want any Arab blood in you.
That's a joke. But
Okay.
yeah.
I think she just didn't want stretch marks. Probably more.
The Arab mother thing is I relate to. I became friends with Zach instantly because if you have an Arab mom, it's a specific kind of hatred that you're born and raised with. You know, you start to get why Muslim men hate their mothers when you meet their mothers.
Is that a thing?
Or women, I should say.
Right. Yeah,
and that is a thing.
that is for sure a thing. Yeah. Which not so much a thing in the Jewish religion, according to this Philip Roth book I'm reading, where apparently a lot of them want to fuck their mother.
Oh, did he come up with the Roth IRA?
Yes.
Is that him?
Yeah,
Philip
that's
Roth?
him. Yeah.
Who's Philip Roth?
He's just a novelist. But he wrote this book, and it's a lot about how Jewish mothers are so overbearing that they can never find a partner that fits what their mother did for them.
I see.
So they kind of have this sexual attraction to their mother.
I definitely know a few of those.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's like, having a sexual attraction to your mother. I just have done nothing but jerk off to milk porn since I was 12.
Right. So you get mothers, just not
My mother.
Yeah,
Mothers in general, sure.
Right. Now, when you were, you've been in the MILF game a long time. Do you feel like they were
Finally, my Charlie Rose moment. He was unfortunate. This is how I pictured this is how I that's how I pictured the Charlie Rose interview starting with me, where I would be somber in a dark room looking off, and Charlie Rose would go, "You've been in the MILF game a long time." It's not any let me just say this, it's not a weird thing against for mothers. It's more that I'm so anti CP, I don't want to say the full word, that's how anti I am, that I look for the opposite.
right? Okay.
And what's the opposite of a child? A mother.
I never even consider CP. Like,
I have to consider.
why are you looking for the opposite? That's wild.
I consider all options. Unlike you, Brian, I face the reality of the world. Okay.
But what I was going to ask you is, do you feel like the age limit for a MILF has gotten significantly younger through the years that you've been in the MILF game?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you and thanks a lot for bringing this up. I'll always look forward to talking about this. I agree with you. It has gone a little, which is why I do find myself creeping into GILFs every once in a while, because the GILFs are now 40.
Right. By the way, you don't agree with me. I threw out a question for you. I didn't co-sign anything.
I totally agree with you. MILFs are too young. They're too young these days.
This is the real Charlie Rose, though. This is what he wishes he was talking about.
Charlie Rose, we never got a chance to properly mourn him.
I know.
What did he do? Did he rape anybody, or was it just creepy?
I think he was like answer the hotel door naked for a PA kind of guy. Okay. Oops, my dick is out. I think he really liked to expose himself to like that president
of the IMF. Remember that dude?
I don't remember that dude. There was an IMF guy who liked to show his dick to people.
There was a big scandal when I was. I remember when I was in like the 6th grade of he was the president of the IMF, and he answered the door in France naked for a hotel maid or something like that, and he got ousted or something like that.
That was a problem in France.
I thought that
just seems like cultural, what you do in France.
They were the same age. That was the issue.
Oh.
Can you pull up that guy? Just look up IMF president naked hotel room. France.
Maybe write International Monetary Fund.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Because you're gonna maybe IMF is some fucking porn thing I don't know about.
Could very well.
Are you
be.
into IMFs?
Yeah, could very well be, because F is just such a great letter.
Right.
International Monetary
Fund.
Yeah, it's a criminal war. It's a war criminal organization.
it kind of is though, for real.
For real, it is, and that's why they oppose Bitcoin. And by the way, congratulations, we hit over $30,000 today per
Again, you're co-signing me to a lot of things. I'm not. I'm not necessarily a MILF guy, not necessarily a Bitcoin guy.
Well, I'm not a MILF guy either. Like I said, I'm a GILF guy now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Is it granny or
grandmother?
Grandmother.
Have some respect. This woman is.
How do you say grandmother in Arabic?
Sitte.
That's not as good as Baba.
In Arabic Lebanese.
And sitto, sitte. Yeah, it's a little bit. My man knows what's up. Zach.
Yeah. We got some dialects going. You guys are right around the corner from each other. Way different dialects.
Yeah, your mom is Lebanese?
Yeah.
Oh, a Levantine. A fellow Levantine.
Yeah, a little sexier, Frenchier.
Bit whorish, but Levantine nonetheless.
Yeah. Kind of the Vegas Strip of Arabia.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Anything goes over there. Anything goes. It's crazy. You can have tea at any hour over there.
That's wild. Yeah. Have you been to Lebanon, Zach?
Nah. My mom's gone with my nephew and niece, but they were always like, because Stein as the last name, there was some
You've been to Israel, though, right?
I have not. No, I didn't.
I thought you took your birthright.
No.
Oh, my
it was
man.
too much paperwork.
I love Zach even more now. I love it even more. And the too much paperwork reason is something I connect with you on a human level. That's the worst part about birthright.
Is there a Palestine birthright trip?
There's a death right. You can show up here and be killed, and it is your God-given right. Allahu Akbar.
Oh my God, that reminds me of. Have you ever watched Some Kind of Monster, in the Metallica documentary, where they get a therapist to help them write their new album?
I have not, but Tyler has spoken to me about every minute of this documentary.
That's disregarding. That is one of the funniest fucking movies I've ever seen. But there's one time where they're sitting around with their therapist trying to write lyrics, and James Hetfield goes, "I feel like my lifestyle determines my death style," and they all go, whoa. And they're like, write that down. And then they cut to the song where it's like, my lifestyle determines my death style.
No changes.
That movie, it makes Spinal Tap irrelevant. It really does. They are the cringiest human beings I've been saying cringy since before my nieces and all them started saying. Now when I say cringe, I feel like I'm like trying bussing, or it's like I feel like an old man trying to sound relevant.
No, it's listen, the cringe thing is
do you try to keep up with slang?
Me? No. Slang seems to just revolve around the things that I say. Remember how I was saying Riz several years ago?
Yes.
Really?
I've been saying Riz for years now.
Where do you hear it?
I maybe thought of it myself, I think.
Yeah. He's not been saying Riz for years. Jesus, Zach.
Are you fucking kidding me? Play back the tapes from the first worst out.
It's in black and white. There's that vinyl scratch.
It's in silent letters. The subtitles were required back then.
Right. In Gothic font, it says Riz right over it. We're wearing bright lipstick so that it pops in black and white.
I'm chasing a woman.
Yeah.
She's bidding me off with an umbrella.
Around your desk.
She's bidding me off with an umbrella.
Yeah.
It says, come on, doll.
Have you heard about these new Hoovervilles? There's a depression right around the corner.
And there was. And that's the sad thing.
Oh, dude, yeah. Our first episode was, I believe, the same day the Federal Reserve was created, coincidentally.
Right, 1913. How could I forget? 1913. How could I forget? Did we ever find out what that guy's name was? Because I feel like it's going to jog Brian's memory.
Yeah. Dominique Strauss-Kahn. She ran at her naked while she was trying to clean the room, molested her, and forced her.
Wait, is that the girl?
No, the guy is Dominique Strauss-Kahn.
It's international.
Yeah, it's international.
Guys are named Dominique.
I would be so pissed if my name was Dominique.
That's probably why she walked in with such confidence. She probably was like, "Oh, it's a female."
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about here.
Right.
And then the silent movie music.
I got you, bitch.
And he started chasing around the bed. Good times.
Right. No, it doesn't even jog a memory. Do you know how many times I protested the IMF? Never knew who was running it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, you shouldn't. You're protesting the organization. If you knew too much about it, then people might think it was personal.
I don't even recognize him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
I fully agree.
So he ran at her?
Yeah.
Yeah, he forced her to perform oral sex on him.
I remember one of the first political cartoons I ever saw was there was a senator named Bob Packwood. Mm-hmm. Who I remember his name was Packwood, and he actually exposed himself to people. Good. And I remember reading that, being like, "Why would you ever want to show a stranger your dick?" I was like completely confounded by it.
I think about the things that used to confound me a lot. Like recently, I heard Adam's song by Blink-182, and it's a suicide song. I don't know if you guys. I don't want to.
Did you just figure that out?
I don't want to bring the. No. I don't want to bring the mood of the room down. Things have been so elevated. First day of summer, Bitcoin is high. You know, things are good around here. I got a fresh nicotine patch on.
I got my Hawaiian shirt on for the first day of summer.
Got your Hawaiian shirt on.
A billionaire drowned at the bottom of the ocean. Happy about that.
Exposing a little more chest than I'm comfortable with. But
oh no, dude! I'm trying to do our tribute to Russell Brand.
Oh, dude, hell yeah! You can never be so sexy. Don't even. Don't
I
even
watched
try.
Get Him to the Greek. He must have like a deep V tan line at this point. You know what I mean?
I assume he goes to a tailor and just goes, take it down 3 inches. I don't know if they make shirts like that. I've looked for them. Trust me, I've looked for them.
I know. You know, I know we've talked about this back in the day, but I actually have really gotten into linen lately. And I think in the back of my head, I think I look like him. Like I want to wear all white linen. Yeah. Oh. Like linen pants, linen shirt.
Believe you me, man. I would not fault you for wanting to be.
In my mind, I look like Russell Brand, but in reality, I look like the guy who founded Jurassic Park.
Unquestionably,
you know, the guy with the cane.
It's either Jurassic Park or you look like you just joined a cult. You know, you're like a new member.
Yeah. I was broke. The Christus took me in,
and they're pissed off that they got you. They were trying to get your wife,
right.
But you unfortunately showed up as well, and so they're like, "Ah, fuck, we got to give him a linen jumpsuit."
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna have that ponytail coming out of the top of my head soon.
Go chop wood while we fuck your wife.
Yeah.
Well, hey, man, thanks again for joining me today, by the way. Much appreciated. That's the voice of Bryan Vokey. Y'all know him. Y'all love him. It's been fantastic. I know Pride Month is ending shortly here, and I'm sorry to report that it's ending. Wish it would stay on for a couple more months.
You know what's funny about my neighborhood is that it's such a conservative neighborhood because it's a heavily Catholic neighborhood.
Socially conservative, fiscally liberal, I would argue.
I don't know. Maybe the Latino neighborhood.
I did a little survey before
you went door to door.
I got here 30 minutes early.
Yeah.
I was like, I need some stuff to talk about
the
today.
Census Bureau is paying $50 an hour for me to go door to door.
I would totally do it. We should do. I've always said this. Census should operate kind of like Uber.
Right.
I should be able to just get a ping and go knock on people's doors. It's a more effective way.
I'm home if you want to come ask me about my demographics.
Yeah, exactly. I'm home if you want me to go ask people's demographics.
Not one real rainbow flag in my neighborhood, but a lot of American flags that are like came up from Memorial Day and stay there through July 4th.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. It feels like I'm in when you drive out here, look, there's like an avenue of American flags.
We know
the rest of LA is covered in rainbow flags.
We know these people are quite patriotic. The other day we did a show. We did a show where a Mexican man told me that he would give me a bowl of camel piss soup to go back to Palestine.
Yes.
He said this while I was on stage, by the way.
He also lit you about 2 minutes in your stage. To your set. He showed you a light, which means, in comedy parlance, it means wrap it up, get off stage.
Which to me, I found to be the most impressive part of the whole thing. Like
that he knew that.
That he knew that.
He's probably an open micer.
He must be.
It's like a racist open micer.
He was a Mexican dude, and I was like inquiring because I was like, oh, is this some kind of a good old boy from Ventura? And he said, I'm Mexican, but I'm American. That was his response. I don't know.
Almost like how they say American by birth, Southern by the grace of God.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know what's funny? When we left there, I was retelling the story I had a semicircle of people around me.
I was there.
I don't know if you were the first person. Because
I'm glad that my traumatic experience in America.
I don't think you were there because I called myself out on this, and I think by the time I told you this, I had corrected it. But I totally told the story where I talked you off a ledge. The way I first told it, I was like, he was ready to fight. I had to talk him down. Dude.
You're like, luckily, by the grace of Allah, I was there to really use some of my conflict resolution skills that I've been
nonviolent communication skills.
Yeah, and you know how Arabs get.
Yeah, I made him feel a lot better.
Allah Akbar. And I was like, listen, let me hit you with my whiteness here. And you did make me feel better.
No, I didn't make you feel better. Our friend Jake made you feel better.
No, I think Jake did make me feel better. There's no question about it. I love the heck out of that guy.
Yeah.
But, give yourself some credit, brother. You were there.
I was there. I'll give myself credit for that. I was there.
Your presence was there.
The funniest thing about the most interesting thing, when somebody does something racist and you're the only member of the race there, and everybody needs you to make them feel better.
bro.
Everybody like wants to make the burden of responsibility that falls on you.
This was the worst part about everything. Like I wanted to disappear because I had 9 inbox messages of people being like, "Just so you know, that's not how we do things in Ventura."
People looking at you, "Hey,
yes,
are you okay? Because I feel terrible."
And I'm like,
"Can you make me feel better?"
You should both give me money move.
I should have. Had I had a clearer head, Zach. Had I had a clearer Jewish head in the moment.
Yeah, to be fair, that's Zach's response to everything.
I would have in that very moment said, "A couple of shekels will do."
Ooh, I know what'll make me feel better.
Rubbing my hands together. To be fair, though, I don't want to say that's not the Jews get a bad rap on that because that's a Semitic trait. The Jews are just good at actually making money. My dad, Chris Estrada, on season 2 of This Fool, was gonna name a liquor store after my dad, like being like, "Hey, like it's a Middle Eastern place. Like I'm gonna name it like what's your dad's name?" And I told my dad about it, and his first response was, "I want to get paid." I go, "You don't want to be immortalized forever in a TV show? Like you're not doing anything?" And he's like, "Nah, give me money."
I like how you were willing to let him do that for the TV show, but you won't even say your dad's name on this podcast right now. You danced around.
Well, I'd have to owe him money.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't. I've already signed the contract with the guy.
If you mention my name into a microphone, that's 10% of your inheritance. The guy, each time you do it.
The guy, God bless his soul, is great at holding on to money, not great at making it.
Right.
I think all of his money was amassed 32 years ago, and he's just been sitting on it.
That's like me and girls.
Yeah, basically.
Like I get one every 5 years, but I'll date him for 7 years because I can't.
And the one that you're dating for 7 years, you got her 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And you've been waiting on things.
But yeah, I'm not good at making girlfriends, but when I get one, I keep them.
She's in love with the memory of you from 3 presidential administrations ago when she met you.
Dude, do you think, what are the chances that we end up with Gavin Newsom versus Ron DeSantis? I think that might be that might happen.
Here's the thing.
Like last minute replacement election.
I don't think that's a horribly unlikely scenario. The other day I was looking at Biden while he was answering a question about calling Xi Jinping a dictator.
Yeah. Was he also eating potato cheddar soup at the time?
Basically. This is truly basically what he was doing. He muttered around it and said nothing so much that I kind of realized he's the greatest. Like for corporate interests, right. You can't really beat a guy
who's not there
because everybody just feels sad.
Yeah.
Instead of when they try to press him for the question. So I think at the end of the day, the corporate interests that run this country want somebody like him to stay.
Right.
As much as he doesn't want to.
But I'm saying he could just fucking die.
He could die. There's a possibility.
Yeah, and Donald Trump, everybody's saying that this case is a little heavier than everybody thought it was.
The Donald Trump,
yeah.
What is it, the tax evasion? What are they getting him for?
He's got tax evasion, he's got a rape thing. But mostly what they're hitting him on is he just has an unlimited amount of top secret documents that he took out of the White House and it's just in his house.
Show me Hillary's emails. That's what I say. I like when they do that.
Yeah, I know.
5 years ago, you couldn't stop talking about Hillary's emails. Now you're like, oh yeah, well compare that to Hillary's email. It's like, what are we doing here, folks?
It's just so funny that the way this country works that what the other guy might go to jail, the other guy might die, and then we're just left with Gavin Newsom and Ron. We're left with guys with the 2 most evil haircuts you've ever seen in your life.
Both
the Florida mulleted man and the fucking Gotham City gelled back hair guy.
Truly both television character politicians.
They both seem like straight up villains.
Yeah, I'm holding out hope that Hunter Biden is going to step up and run.
It's not a monarchy.
Hunter Biden should be.
It should be, right?
I've said it for years. That's what's wrong with this country. This should be a monarchy, right. Dictatorship.
I feel like isn't that the only thing we weren't?
It's the only.
That was like the premise of this country.
And I'll tell you what,
to not be a monarchy.
How's it working? That's my point.
Yeah.
How's it working? Hunter Biden, by the way. Awesome guy. Did you see that he's being charged for tax evasion right now? He pled guilty to 2 misdemeanors. The media is reporting that he just pled guilty to 2 misdemeanors. But if you dig a little deeper, you find out what the misdemeanors are. They're pretty hilariously awesome.
What are they?
He wrote off a $10,000. He wrote off $10,000 to a hooker.
Wait, he used a prostitute as a write-off?
The woman was being listed as an assistant on the West Coast. Which, if you think about it,
and the loosest definition of assistant,
truly,
totally fine with me.
Can't jerk yourself off,
right?
And
how west though?
California.
So
California.
still illegal.
still illegal. He didn't go all the way
to like Ukraine, or
he didn't go all the way west till he hit Amsterdam.
Yeah.
No. And the other one is a membership to a sex club that he got kicked out of. Kind of sick.
And he wrote that off too?
Wrote that off as a business expense.
And what did he call that?
Networking and stuff like that, like getting to know people, which is fair. You do get to know people.
I don't relate to that level of horniness.
Oh, I totally relate to that level of
horniness.
horniness.
I really don't.
Except for the part where he got kicked out for, and here's the quote. He got kicked out for grabbing people's asses and acting like a spoiled brat. I don't relate to the spoiled brat part or really the grabbing asses part, but I relate to the horniness.
Do you think him and Donald Trump Jr. just think, man, in another life, we would be besties? It would be like stepbrothers.
They must like
each
each other.
They should remake stepbrothers with Donald Trump Jr. and Hunter Biden.
They must like each other off cam.
For sure.
Kind of like the way you and I, actually hate each other off cam.
Right.
But on cam,
we have an Opie and Anthony thing going on.
Dude, before the cameras turn on, me and Brian don't look at each other. No. We don't talk to each other.
I don't let him use my bathroom.
Yeah, it's true. I had to piss into my own hand and then drink it up immediately right afterwards.
Well, we know how much you love piss.
Nobody made you drink it. Yeah, but where else am I going to put it? In the trash can? That's going to be hard to deal with later. I'm still considerate.
You're like, I'm actually getting a lot of the nutrients that I had too many nutrients, so my body's dispelling them, and this is how I make sure.
B12 in, B12 out.
What are you drinking right now? I thought you were off the caffeine.
I didn't say I was off.
It's literally called rehab. Is that like a lower caffeine? Is that like to rehab you off a calf?
Why don't you read the words right there?
Wild berry tea. You're drinking tea?
So I'm trying to
tea time.
Trying to be a little more zen.
Little afternoon tea for you.
This is my third one today. I'm trying to say a little kind of honed in with the universe. I've been really meditating, focusing on myself.
Now, what berry is wild berry?
Obvious, it's a wild berry. I mean, like, are you stupid? It's a berry that's wild.
Now, is there actual tea in there?
I'm arguably.
Testosterone?
A little Monster Energy trade secret. They put like a little description on the side that's usually pretty good.
Where is that at?
Should be like kind of a small wall of text.
First of all, look at the shape that the can is in.
Yeah, you're fucking so caffeinated. You're crushing it in your hand.
I've suffocated this thing alive.
Right, and also the ingredients is about 5 paragraphs long.
Yeah, because it's a lot of good stuff. Obviously, I told you, man. There's a lot of xanthan gum and magnesium lactate, sodium citrate. Where else are you going to get these ingredients besides a wild berry?
Sure.
What is the description?
Might
of this
not
thing?
have it on that particular brand of them. You'd notice it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, here's what it does for you, though. It has advanced hydration. What does that mean?
Well, remember you've been hydrated before?
Yeah.
Now picture advanced.
Right. Okay.
Picture like more of it.
This is Tesla water.
Exactly.
It has electrolytes.
Let me tell you how advanced that hydration is. Remember the last episode we did 2 weeks ago? Mm-hmm. I haven't had any water since then.
Do they assume that people just know the elemental charts?
I think they're banking on that they don't.
Like, this has the periodic table. Like it says electrolytes and it says Na, which I believe, what is that? Potassium?
Yeah, potassium. Most people who take
sodium?
Sodium. No, K is potassium.
Yeah.
This has K, and then Ca is calcium, and then it has Mg. It reduces fatigue.
Oh, you know what? That's right. I mix it up. Sorry, I know physics. I don't really know chemistry that well.
Increased concentration. Do you feel like your concentration is increased?
Brian Vokey just said that.
Yeah. You were listening. B3, B5,
Hold on.
B6.
There's a dog here. Zach is currently producing.
Holy shit.
Oh,
We're in Los Angeles.
Wow, man, you are focused. Jesus Christ.
What were you about to say?
Dude, this is like inning 8 of a no-hitter. This man is locked in.
It's so super hydrating, it makes you sweat profusely because you have too much hydration.
And also, for some reason, they throw coconut water in there.
Oh, yeah, that's for flavor.
And then also...
That's for the Nancys. I don't really care about the coconut water. But
botanicals. It has milk thistle.
One of my favorite ingredients.
And you crush the can. I can't read that. And quercetin. Quercetin.
Enough with ridiculing my beverage. Give me that.
This is your brand. This is your lifestyle.
And that's why I'm here to defend it. I don't need you to fucking ridicule it.
Yeah. You're the kind of guy who testifies in front of City Hall about energy drinks and vape flavors.
Vape flavors. I also have a couple of issues with parking that I talk about sometimes.
Yeah, I do too.
Tell me about it.
What's the deal with the yellow curb? I've Googled the yellow curb 10,000 times in my life, and when I park in front of the yellow curb after 6, I am biting my nails the whole time.
Dude, you're always safe in the yellow curb. I sometimes will park at the yellow curb at 2 p.m. and just walk away from it. No one can prove, because they got to prove that you've been there longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah, they chalk your tire.
So every 5 minutes I come and I just move it 1 inch.
You go, they put the chalk on your tire, you lick your thumb and you wipe it off.
It doesn't hurt to bring in your own chalk and mark it up your own way.
Oh, chalk up the whole car.
Then it's all confusing.
Oh, that's beautiful. Paint your car with chalk paint.
When you're focused, when you're dialed in.
That's that increased concentration.
When you've got enough potassium to kill a baby elephant. I would never kill a hooker.
Potassium to kill a hooker.
I would never kill a hooker.
Is that in the commercial? Monster Energy drink. Enough potassium to kill a hooker.
Very funny, but they're called sex workers.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. I like that term sex worker, by the way.
Yeah.
It just sounds better to say that I blew $1,500 on a sex worker. Doesn't it?
To me, though, like, I wouldn't want that to feel like a job. Like, I don't want the word work in there. You know what I mean? Like, I got into prostitution because I can't have a 9 to 5. And now you're calling me a worker?
Listen, as an employer, as a sex employer, which, by the way, if they're sex workers, I want to be called a sex employer.
You're not a independent contractor?
They can be ICs all they want.
Yeah.
That's why I give all the sex workers IC at 1099.
Yeah, you give them your social security number. You give them your date of birth.
A couple are W-2'd. I see them regularly enough. I'm like, you know what? You get benefits.
More than $600 a week, I think they're W-2.
I got to report this. And I do report it. That's the only problem that I have with Hunter Biden's behavior is the whole tax. It's like, report it. But I'd like to be called a sex employer. Mm-hmm. I want them to be a sex worker. Mm-hmm. And listen, let's make this work. Because the whole reason I'm here is that I feel weird about sex.
Right.
So if we're making this too intimate, and hooker's as intimate as word as it gets. You can't get more intimate than hooker. I don't know why I got
wife?
Trump fingers.
I know. Yeah, it's something about just talking about hookers. You just get sleazy.
You just
turn into a sleazeball.
You want to communicate. Okay, I'm okay with what's going on right now, but I am pushing this conversation away from me.
That's like they teach you not to point, right? So Bill Clinton had this. Trump has this.
Oh, yeah. Is that true? They teach you not to point?
A lot of people do this.
That's the problem with all the... Point right at him.
Yeah. Well, that was Bernie Sanders' thing.
And he pointed
Yeah, he would point right at you.
You gotta... What's the point thing? Like, because it seems accusatory or something?
Yeah. It makes the audience feel defensive. Like, oh, buddy. Take it easy. That's how stupid we are.
Are we so stupid?
We're so stupid. Yeah. You can't point at them. They freak out. It's like you're at the zoo. You know what I mean? Like, don't bang on the glass. They'll throw their shit at you.
That's so fucking funny. I had no clue about the pointing thing.
Yeah.
And I spent years as a political consultant.
I know. But think about it. Bernie Sanders is the only one who points. And even when he points up.
Yeah.
Like...
And that's why Allah has 1%. Smited him so much through his life. That Allah was like, hey, bitch.
Yeah.
Don't be fucking pointing at me.
Right. The 1%'s down there.
Isn't it funny, though? And I say this, we've had a lot of jokes here, sex employer, sex worker, but the political consultant thing is not a joke.
Are you saying all jokes aside?
All joking next to me?
Yeah.
I was a political consultant for 2 to 3 years.
And you didn't know that basic?
Well, not only did I not know that basic thing, this is the problem with American politics. I was a 21-year-old consulting a 53-year-old on how he should run his campaign.
Well, I'll tell you what, the 21-year-olds who are memeing for Trump are fucking good.
Can you pull up the name? By the way, you're right about that, and we're going to hold on that. But I just want you to pull up Chris Norby. I want you to pull up Chris Norby. This is the last man that I politically consulted for. I want Brian to see him. This man. There we go. Here we go. Here's a great photo
like
of him.
Woody Harrelson.
He really does.
Is he still working?
I believe he's so Chris Norby. Look at this
He
legend.
does look like Woody Harrelson. He has the same gap in his teeth and everything.
This is absolute legend. Chris Norby, I believe, is currently like some kind of a China consultant in America. He married he married a Latina woman who was like 23 years younger than him while he was in office. He has multiple sexual harassment allegations against him.
Dude, the only people allowed to live that rock and roll lifestyle anymore are politicians.
Truly.
Like if he was in a band, he wouldn't be doing gigs.
If
he was in a rock band, they would cancel him, but they were like, but he can be an ambassador to China.
I would argue he was an early victim of the cancellations. He lost he lost the election that I was consulting him for, and
whose fault is that?
I like to blame the Disney Corporation because he was lobbying against tax breaks for Hollywood. Because why would the government be picking winners and losers? Why should the government pick winners and losers? And all of us should be on the same.
How red was the district?
Very red district.
So you had home court advantage.
County. They put me in this position. They went,
how did you lose?
They put me in this position. They went, there's no way we can lose this election. There's no way. So they gave me this job.
It's training wheels for you.
I got this job on some mob shit. I was dating a girl whose family was like deep into OC politics. Mm-hmm. So they were like, we're going to give this guy a job as a favor. We're going to fucking, and immediately as soon as they put me in the position, we just wiped out.
First Democrat in 20 years to win that fucking district.
Well, the whole area went blue.
Was it a woman?
It was a woman.
Oh my God. You had a Republican man running against a Democrat woman. And you in Orange County.
We lost to a Latina. And
Jesus.
Those guys are kind of
Who? Which guys?
the Latinas and Latinos. They're all, a lot of them now. They're all.
Is this racism coming from the fact that you were verbally assaulted by a Mexican gentleman last weekend? Do you feel like all bets are off now?
No.
War?
Was that racist to say that they're all?
No, I just wanted to.
Do you find that just sort of?
No, I don't think it was racist at all.
This is just a ton of them.
Yeah. Because they don't believe in birth control.
That's their own decision. It's their own decision. If they don't like pulling out, whatever. I get it. I hear you. That feels good, and they want to have kids and put them all on the welfare state or whatever they want to do. It's their own thing. But for here, it's different. I'm just different.
Yeah.
I was at the time I was taking state loans and grants from the state for being poor, but it's different.
Right. At that time, were you on like stevia flavored Adderall?
All Adderall is sweet.
Yeah,
it's so nice.
It's gross. I don't like it.
You don't like it that it's
No,
sweet?
I'll tell you why I don't like it. It's because I have a dog, and it's like, why are they sugarcoating all these medicines?
Yeah.
Like, if a dog gets an ibuprofen, they're dead, but all they taste is the sugar. On that. That's another thing. Like, you can't point at people and like, how stupid am I that like I need my medicine to taste like candy?
It's like, especially with Adderall, I think the reason why it tastes like candy is because people chew on them to get them in their blood faster.
But there's no way they're trying to promote chewing the Adderall. That's strongly not recommended.
Ooh, that's good idea. Chewable Adderall. They have chewable.
I mean, I've chewed
pills.
them. Yeah, because you have to chew those little fucking bubble, the little time release capsules in them.
Yeah. They have the chew. You can chew on the boner pill. Why not chew on Adderall? Why not make that a thing? There is a shortage right now, though. Nobody can get their hands on Adderall.
Pretty sure,
unless you go to Mexico, which I was just in.
I was thinking of going to Mexico tonight.
By the way, you want to talk about a lot of Mexicans?
Oh my God.
It's like a whole fucking place.
Is this where they come from?
Jesus fucking Christ.
My mom, unironically, we were in South Africa in an airport in Johannesburg, and she looked around. She's like, there's so many black people here.
In her defense, South Africa, I picture white people.
Yeah, I do too.
I picture white diamond. I picture a bunch of Monopoly men.
Bunch of Elon Musks.
Twirling their fucking.
Yeah. Or Wario looking people. Yeah.
Yeah, doing some evil stuff.
Jagged mustaches coming way out.
Yeah. There's South Africa and then there's regular Africa.
Yeah.
And obviously if she was in regular.
What is Egypt?
I call that
Old Africa, Old Town.
They want to claim Egypt is in this like, oh, we're African. Like, come on, man.
They're literally on the African.
I hear ya, but come on, man. Come on. Let's be real. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like
They definitely weren't feeling that way with the new Cleopatra.
yeah.
They're like, we are not.
What they do with the new Cleopatra? I just knew that the people were mad about it. They made her white. They made her black. What did they make her? They made her black.
She's supposed to be from what, Macedonia in real life or something? She's like from
Greece,
the Balkans. I think she's from the Balkans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a white person. That would be a white
Yeah.
person.
Can you imagine living a life where that matters to you at all? Who the fuck plays Cleopatra?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not sure anybody actually cares.
They don't.
I think these are
Well,
all
maybe in
Russian
Egypt they
bots. Yeah.
They might care over there.
They may be like, why is she black?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
100%.
I know Egyptians. These people are fucking scum. No.
There's so many. Isn't Cairo like
It's
the
the
fifth biggest city in the world?
It's a huge city. There's
It's like
so many
never
Egyptians.
ending.
Every Middle Eastern, and just to kind of peel back a little bit of comedy. We've been doing a lot of comedy on the show and talking about things loosely, but Egyptians in the Arab world, they're the butt of all the jokes. All the Arabs kind of hate the Egyptians. They've got the reputation for being kind of like sleazy city slickers.
That makes sense why the most famous Arab comedian in the world is Egyptian, because that's a position you would come from. Basim?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
So he's there kind of on some numbers bullshit. You know what I mean?
Basim was in Europe doing a documentary with Arabic comedians.
Bassem, by the way.
Bassem, sorry.
Yeah, just wanted to.
I appreciate that.
Just so you don't walk
Means a
around
lot.
just, hey, Basim, nice to meet you. Boom.
Bassem.
And he's like, no, thank you.
Yus?
Bassem Youssef?
Yeah, Yusuf.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in Europe doing a documentary with Arabic comedians, and Kenan, friend of yours, is mine, told a story of mine. So I have a story in Bassem's new documentary.
For reals?
I don't remember what the story was, but
I was going to be like, enlighten us.
no, I don't know. Well, wait till it comes out. You'll see it. When you see Kenan on there and he's telling a story, it's my story.
He's self-releasing the documentary.
I don't think so.
I assume. Well, maybe you're right. He is pretty. He's pretty famous.
Massive.
He's incredibly popular. He is a really cool. I met him one time, and he was just like full of like. The thing about guys like him, they have this sobriety energy, but it's not recovered. Like recovered,
I know. Believe me, I know.
Recovered sober is like there's a light that's dim forever.
Yes,
there's nothing that can really.
Yes.
But he has this sort of. It's so magnetic. You're almost like, are you a Scientologist? There's just some. I mean, Tom Cruise, I think, probably has it. Was he ever addicted to anything? Was he ever on drugs?
Just
cock, maybe.
Just.
Sorry. Sorry.
Not to
His name's
impress,
Cruz.
There's plenty of straight people who cruise. Hell, I did a little bit of it before I got here.
I think straight guys only cruise for prostitutes, not
Sex workers.
sorry.
I cruise.
Prostitute sounds more respectable to me than sex worker, if I'm being real.
Does
Because
it?
the more like
'Cause it sounds like-
syllables and the more difficult it is to say, it feels like it's like that's the Latin root of what they do.
It
like,
feels a little medical. Prostate.
Yeah,
prostitute. You go, oh, prostitute.
Is that what it comes from? Because they're milking your
Milking your
prostate.
prostate.
Yeah.
Could be. I'm
Yeah.
okay with it. I'll tell
Zach,
you
you
what.
ever had your prostate milked? Mm-mm. You haven't, I know for sure.
Well,
Dude, I was in the gym doing.
Hold on, let me get in here.
Okay.
Hold on, let me just share a quick little story here. Is prostate milking? Is that when they? Is that when somebody puts a finger in your butt and then you come?
Yes,
They need a little more technique than that.
but they have to actually massage the prostate gland, entering through the rear.
I just came. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what happened or who did what.
I figured your asshole would be like a guillotine. It seems like if anybody tried to get in there, it would just snap it right off.
Let me just say this. I did not give consent. Retroactively, I do, but I'll never forwardly give it.
Right.
Just to clear
How would
that
you know
out.
that you would have liked it so much? You know?
It was yeah, that's the thing. As if you ask, boom,
Yeah.
closed.
Yeah.
Closed and the teeth come out.
Right.
You don't ask. Hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Roll the dice.
What do
I'm
they
not-
say? It's better to.
Ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah.
That's
something like
That's exactly why I got that as a tramp stamp. That's why it's tattooed on my lower back.
that way you get the best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah. It's a real cop out.
You get to do it, and then at the end of the day, you say, "Hey, I never said nothing. I didn't do anything. It's tattooed right below my Prop 65 warning that I have tattooed on.
This asshole's known to the state of California to cause cancer.
There's nothing fun. There's not a funnier tattoo idea I have that fewer people would understand the reference to.
I worked with with my lawyer buddy with Prop 65
Wait,
stuff.
what did you do? What did you work on?
Just
Suing people?
Ramsey's the only person whose eyes would light up with that fucking story.
Zach told me earlier today that
I'm publicly on a lawsuit against illegal steroids and shit. With
Really?
Prop 65. Yeah.
Because they needed somebody's name to put on it. I mean, respectfully, Zach, you don't look like a guy who's jacked up on steroids.
No, he's on the steroids they give you in the hospital.
Oh, to help you breathe
Yeah,
better.
that make your head big.
Wait, it's like you get you're like a bounty hunter and you get a commission of the state's take.
I mean, no better country. There's not a better country on this planet, Earth, than America.
So it's not for damages. There's no claim that I ever took them.
So there's no wait. It's not for damages. You're not going to get paid for it.
No, I will.
You will, of course.
Yeah, he said he gets a cut of the state's.
Is your
fine?
Oh, I see. And what are we possibly looking at? Out of curiosity here.
I don't think it's in my best interest to disclose that at this moment.
I love it. And you're off camera, so nobody knows. It could be any Zach Stein. That sounds exactly
There was another
like
Zach Stein in my school.
Oh, dude, there's tons of Zach Steins, I'm sure.
It could be any Zach Stein with a cartoon voice. It could be any Zach Stein who sounds like he swallowed an oar.
What did you say you were doing? He brought something up that you were...
Process. I'm just serving.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be... He's a
factory.
part-time process server.
Now, what's your strategy with serving people? That's where you knock on their doors and you give them the paper.
Pineapple Express, the first scene in Pineapple Express. Remember he's smoking weed and processing?
Yeah, I've never done a costume for it or anything, but yeah, just knock on their door. Don't people are gonna be maybe a little angry and stuff. One time I'd served like a divorce thing in Michigan to an Albanian, and they said they weren't gonna take it and they were coming back with a gun, and I just left it at their front door.
So you're really reinforcing a lot of stereotypes we have about Albanians.
Oh, I can reinforce a lot of stereotypes about Albanians if you want.
They're scarier Italians.
I've never met an Albanian before. They are a Eastern Bloc country,
Balkan, right across the way from Italy, over there in over the scary sea.
predominantly
Very Muslim.
Very Muslim. That's all I need to know. White Muslim, stay away.
Yeah.
Stay away from Chechens. Stay away from fucking Albanians.
Yeah, they're Chechens.
Chechens. Is that what they are?
Yeah, Chechnya Chechens.
Well, they're actually Shishan, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, you want to one up me? Is that even true?
That's what we called them. Well, that's what we called them during our mosque
Oh yeah,
prayers.
you said you used to pray for them.
I still pray for them every
When
single day.
Putin gassed them back then?
Every single day I pray for our brothers Shishan to be free.
Chechnya?
I think
much
Montenegro is in Albania.
Montenegro?
No, Montenegro is its own country.
But it has a lot of Albanians, I think.
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of them went there.
Yeah.
I hope if they're trying to be free, I hope Allah frees them as well. Free to all the brothers who are trying to be free.
A lot of
Shishan, Xinjiang, East Turkestan, all of them brothers. Sorry, go ahead.
The Albanians, their names often end in vowels. So they're like in the mob a lot, and like that guy John Alite was like that murderer for the whatever the Gotti family was. I forget what that family was called, but he could never be made because he was Albanian and not Italian.
Oh, I see.
But their names sound kind of vaguely Italian to me.
Yeah,
So
well-
I feel like let them in.
What?
If your name ends in a vowel, you should be allowed to be in the mob.
I agree. It should be a merit-based
Especially if you
system.
kill like 100 people.
Let
Come
the guy
on,
in.
with like baseball bats and shit.
The most brutal guy.
Yeah.
And now
You want a gun? No.
in defense of the mob, it seems like a lot of these guys would be killing 100 people regardless of the mob being there or not. So it's like,
Right.
you know,
That's a funny thing with all these YouTube mobster YouTubers now, where they're like, it was business. We were not sociopaths. Like, really?
so many of these people are so much worse than Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, yeah.
or any of these other people who we've destroyed publicly.
I know.
But it's like, he's kind of old guy now, though.
Yeah.
He's cute.
They how many murders have you done? Well, they charged me with 17 murders.
And one, I ripped a tooth out of a guy's mouth. And they told me that it was a misdemeanor battery. You're like, what the?
That was over a concrete contract. Like all these things are like off the most menial shit.
Insane. We do not condone violence at all on this podcast, unless it's in the name of Allah. Then you do what you got to do. Then do what you got to do.
Violence.
That's freedom.
Yeah. That's defense. Violence is reactionary.
Is a hurricane violence?
Yeah, exactly.
God's will.
That's true. Now, if
That's
it's
exactly right.
yeah, it's true. Depends on where the
What
hurricane
hadith
hits.
is that you just quoted?
It depends on where the hurricane is located. Let's be honest, right?
Hurricanes are a little anti-Semitic, always hitting Florida on the East Coast.
And those ones are in God's will.
Yeah.
Somehow never hits Israel for some reason, but that's between him. I assume our Lord has his own plan there.
That's because they're on the Dead Sea, aren't they?
It's true.
Yeah.
They are on
How's
the
a
Dead Sea.
hurricane supposed to go to the Dead Sea?
A good point. I don't really know how hurricanes work. Let me chug a little more Monster.
Concentrate, focus, feel that vitamin D7.
I got
that
it.
vitamin C add ninth. They're like chords.
I got it.
Yeah.
Hot air, cold air, and then they sort of hit each other, and then all of a sudden it rains a lot.
Yep. Wow. Yeah.
Bismillah. You're supposed to do it before you take the drink. This is a great segue, by the way, to get into our final topic of the night. That's it. We didn't get into any
Of
of
the night.
topics.
It's always a night for you, no matter what time of day it is.
It's always 5 p.m. somewhere, baby.
Yeah.
Just like your limitless thing.
Yeah. I should have said 5 a.m. Let me retake that. It's always 5 a.m. somewhere.
Right. You're like Mark Wahlberg. That's his saying, I bet. It's 5 a.m. somewhere. Stay prayed up.
Yeah, exactly. There's a meteorologist who just quit his job, or I'm sorry, he resigned. I think there's a difference between quitting and resigning.
When I hear resigned, I feel like they're like, we were going to fire you, but we'll allow you to save face.
There's some kind of
you can resign.
There's a moral high ground.
Quitting involves storming out, maybe?
Yeah, and resigning involves like signing a piece of paperwork.
Right.
At least the word sign is in there, so that's how I see it in my
And
head.
he probably had a last episode. This is the last thunderstorm.
Exactly. Yeah. This meteorologist recently resigned because he was getting death threats. This is his story. We're going to dig a little deeper into this,
Who
folks.
doesn't? If you're online, you're getting death threats.
This is kind of my problem, Brian. I knew you'd be on board with me on
Yes.
this one. This guy's getting death threats because I guess this is in Idaho. He was covering pro-climate change.
Pro-climate?
You know.
He was acknowledging
He
it?
was acknowledging the existence of climate change. And he says he's got PTSD from all of this, from all of these death
It
threats.
sounds a little litigious.
Sounds like somebody's working their way
Yeah.
into a possible disability claim.
Yeah, I think so too. Somebody wants some good parking.
Somebody wants to be able to park at a meter and never come out to pay it.
I get to park here because people were mean to me on the internet.
Do you think? Okay, you're a woman, right?
Yes.
We're about to fuck, maybe.
Sure.
I picked you up.
You don't know that.
I don't know that for sure. I picked you up. We're going to my favorite Zatar joint.
Well, okay, so we are fucking.
Well, I'm thinking about it. I'm trying. So far, it's a yes.
Take me to Zatar.
Tell me what you think. We pull up. We're in Los Angeles.
We're
pull
sitting on the pillow, right? We have the fucking.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
We're on the way.
The armoire thing you eat off of.
I just picked you up, right? You got in my car. You slid over the 19 empty energy drink cans off the passenger side. No worries. I'm a guy on the go.
No red flags yet.
I'm not sleeping. I'm just working and hustling. Get in my car. We get to the place, and I pull out my handicap placard, and I go, I got this just so I can park at the meter for free. Pussy wet or dry at that point?
Pussy wet because you seem dangerous. You seem like a criminal.
It's a little criminal.
Yeah, it's a little criminal. So it's like, ooh, he might kill me, which apparently, because I'm a woman, that makes me hot.
That makes you all because if you might kill me also means he might kill for me. It's like that's their logic. I mean,
Right, the
I'm
idea-
not saying it's right. I'm saying it.
As a woman, I'm thinking, if you're out there killing, but you're not killing me, I feel special.
I feel exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pussy wet.
So you're into it. You're not
Yeah.
going to go like, oh, he's a cheat. It's not about being cheap. It's about the system.
Yeah.
It's a destruction to the system.
Right.
I'm not taking it. By the way, I'm not parking in a handicap parking spot. Don't care about that. I just want to not deal with the meter.
Right. I immediately think about how Warren Buffett lives in a modest home. I know that, like, just because somebody is a little bit conservative with spending doesn't mean they're poor or cheap.
I've said this a million times, but if I ever see Warren Buffett, it's on site right away for that bullshit. Not even for repossessing a million people's homes or whatever he's done. Just this horse shit of like, I only eat 2 McMuffins a day and I drive. It's like, you killed everybody for this.
Yeah.
That's why I respect these guys who went down in the submarine. Because I'm like, good. Spend your money. Like,
Right.
you get trampled on everybody's existence.
No, they're still going for a deal.
How
That's
so?
why they died. Get a real submarine. If you're a billionaire, spend your money and get a real sub.
Oh, really? That's like being like, oh, you took a private jet? Why not take a full airplane? It's got all the fun.
Yes.
Like, no,
if you're a billionaire, I agree.
You want to roll with 5 people?
They took the fucking Yellow Submarine from the Beatles album and went to find the Titanic.
It's about being in the company of only other billionaires. You wouldn't get this, okay? You're not a serial entrepreneur like me.
Right.
How'd you get to
You're a
being
serial something.
I'm a serial a lot of things, but entrepreneur happens to be one of them as well.
Yeah. A serial entrepreneur.
I can't stop. I get one entrepreneurial project to the next.
That just sounds like you started like a keto cereal.
I did. That's one of that's one of my many projects.
Your plan to sell it is by sponsoring podcasts.
Keto cereal. I do a keto breakfast drink. I do the first ever. What's the other my other $1 million idea that I just recently?
Is there any bigger scam in the world than a loaf of keto bread?
Because nobody eats it.
That's who's that for? That is the funniest thing I've ever seen in a grocery store. It's a big loaf of keto bread.
The thing about keto bread that's so brilliant is you buy it, you eat one slice, and then you throw it away.
It's disgusting.
It's like a book. Yeah. You're selling people a dream.
Right.
Whenever you sell somebody a book, they're not going to read it. But you're selling them the idea,
Yeah.
like, wouldn't it be nice?
Keto
Sitting
bread.
on the
I can
beach.
still have my sandwiches.
Reading a book. It's like you're going to get 2 pages in and throw it away.
Right.
You know? Mm-hmm. Back to this meteorologist really quickly because we got to get out of here. I got a deal to close right after this.
I have to go to San Diego.
You got to, yeah? I'm telling you, man, give up comedy. Do what I'm doing. Serial entrepreneurship. That's all I'm doing. I'm renting an office space, right? I'm going to go check it out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to house illegal immigrants there. 14.
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
You're in the coyote business.
Well, I'm not the coyote.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sort of
what
the
is the
den.
name for you?
I'm building the den.
You're the den mother?
Exactly. I'm going to put 15 in the space. It's 150 square feet. Everybody's got 2 or 3 hand movements worth.
Yeah, the 10 is that right? 10 feet each?
No, not at all. That's 5 square feet per person.
Oh, okay. Okay, so they're a bit in a upright coffin.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to make like pretty much if this goes the way I think it's going to go, around $8,000 or $9,000 a week. I'm going to charge them $900 a piece because
A month?
Yeah.
So they're not going to just get their own place? They're like the 3 of us could get a house.
No, but it's Hollywood. You know?
Oh, so these are immigrants who aspire to be actors.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
So I go because when they come in, there's a sign on the there's like the Hollywood sign. You know,
Yeah.
I got one done in neon light. So when they walk in, they go like, "Oh shit."
Right.
We're here.
Now, is it in Hollywood technically?
It's Southgate. Do you know where Southgate is?
I do.
It's at 25 miles south of El Monte.
There's like a Costco and a fucking 18-wheeler depot thing.
Well, I tell
a lot
them-
of railroad tracks that I don't know what they do.
I go, you can go to Hollywood, but I'll be honest with you, the sites aren't so pretty. I'm gonna let them see it when
Yeah,
they
get
see
to
it.
Southgate.
Get to Southgate. You know what I mean? You'll be around a lot of other fellow Latinos.
Yeah, there'll be the taco truck that pulls into the warehouse parking lot and goes. "Ba, ba, 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 ba."
Could you imagine leaving that and then coming right to that as soon as you get here?
Dude, every time that my neighborhood has that, where the tamale person will come around block to block,
Yeah.
and go ba 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 ba, and every time I hear that, I'm just like, that feels so racist.
Yeah.
It just feels so la cucaracha.
They should be pulling up and it should be like, bow, now, 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 now.
No,
Really
it's
fucking-
lowrider, dude.
Do you think it should go low rider? Oh, because you're saying it should be horn based.
Yeah, and it also should still be for the culture.
Sure.
But not something that it seems like fucking Dick Cheney would assume they're doing.
Yeah. Isn't that like coded cartel stuff? Am I wrong? Isn't all the songs?
Everybody says that about everything.
Yeah.
Every time a bottle rocket goes off, people are like, that's like the MS-13 communicating with each other. I'm like, you don't think they have fucking phones?
When when I went to,
I know. They communicate with smoke signals and fireworks. Like what? They're not the Cherokee.
we've made a lot of
the grand finale of a fireworks show.
Yeah.
Disneyland.
Yeah, it's basically Morse code for an assassin. He's like, oh, I have to kill Javier.
Peter? Is that Peter? Do that one more time.
Yeah,
Well, they send up another firework to be like, repeat that.
yeah, exactly.
We've made a lot, and unfortunately, I couldn't get into it. I'll get into it in the next episode.
The meteorologist?
No, we're going to get into the
Yeah,
meteorologist.
please. I'm hanging by a thread here.
We've been talking about a lot about jokes about Latinos, Mexico, but ultimately beautiful culture, beautiful place. I went to Tijuana to get my tooth extracted. I also got a BBL, but some of you might notice I'm sitting a little taller than usual.
You just look like Tyler. Just 5'3" with a fat ass.
I'm up here next time. Very beautiful culture. I loved going down there. You ever go to Tijuana?
I'm not even kidding. I was looking at hotel prices because I'm doing 2 shows in San Diego, and the hotel's like a 4 or 5-star hotel for $112 a night. I might be going there tonight.
Not only that, but the best part, because I parked my car next to the dentist's office, and I walked up and I realized my car could be carjacked in a second,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't even know where to begin to talk to anybody.
Yeah. It's crazy how, like, it's specifically like the fact that we live 2 hours away from Mexico, but it is like I go to Germany, I can navigate. I speak a little German, I can get around. But like I'm in 2 hours from my house in Mexico. If anything happens, I'm just, well, that's it. Game over. I'm fucked. I don't know any Spanish.
I don't know any Spanish. Here's the fucked up thing. I don't know any Spanish. I took 4 years of French. I don't know any French.
I bet you know more Korean words.
Of course. Annyeonghaseyo, hajima, pango. I know all the most important words.
Yeah.
By the way, I said hello, stop, and fart. Those are the most important words.
I thought you were soliciting sex work.
Pangu. He was.
Yeah, exactly.
Fart is one of your
Not me. No, that's
enlightening.
That's disgusting. That's fucking. Can we cut that out? We can cut that out. I don't want to play around with that kind of stuff.
Okay, so wait, we're gonna do Tijuana. Or we're gonna do the meteorologist.
Okay, I'll do one quick Tijuana thing.
Yeah.
The best part about Tijuana that I found is because it's the first time I've been there. So I went and I found a parking lot, like a private parking lot to park my car in. Mm-hmm. And dude, you could break off 3 1s, 2, 3, put it in the guy's pocket. Call him amigo, call it a day, and you're Tony Soprano all of a sudden.
They install hydraulics into your car, give you white wall tires, paint a Joker face on it, like everything you want.
I did that to a guy, and I'm like, when I was in the office and they were extracting my tooth, which, by the way, just so you know, there's no sophisticated technology for getting your tooth out. I thought that they were going to be like, so we have a special laser that blows your tooth away. Mm-hmm. They literally, not Scary Farm, put a monkey wrench in my... The woman put her boot on my head. I left with a Reebok.
They tied a string and then slammed a door, ripped your tooth out.
I literally left with a Reebok logo imprinted on my forehead. The one thing that made me feel good, honestly, is that the woman who pulled my tooth, her name was Samantha. They introduced her, full Latina. They introduced her though.
Full Latina. What does that mean?
Here the story. She starts speaking Spanish, you know.
Yeah.
Then when they introduced her, they were like, "This is the extraction specialist. Her name is Samantha Singh." And I went, "Thank God, Indians down here are doing this shit too."
Right.
Thank Allah. This is who I want.
Can I ask how much it cost?
It was $700 to get everything done.
And what does that mean?
Meaning, because a tooth to get an implant, it's like they got to pull out your tooth and they got to do a surgery where they put a rod in your gum, bone grafting. They had to do, and then they even gave me a teeth cleaning because it had been like 6 or 7 years since I'd had my teeth cleaned. Yeah. It compared to America, it would have been $3,500. $700. Now, granted, this thing has not healed yet. We do not know how the chips will fall.
Right. Is it like a wolf's tooth, or what did they put in there?
They gave me luckily I had a crown already on that tooth, so they just sort of fashioned something out of it.
Sure.
They're an ingenious people, you know.
I just had Joni at the vet, and I was trying to get her teeth cleaned, and they quoted me $1,900 to get her teeth cleaned. They were like, "That's on the steep side. That depends on whether we have to do extractions or not."
Take her to Tijuana. They give you back a new dog. They just give you a separate.
Like, this one's younger.
They give you just a separate one. And say to go off.
It's a Chihuahua, a little Chihuahua. I'm like, I came in here with Joni, the Aussie long-haired dog. This bald Chihuahua.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's just as good.
The lady, by the way, she not only spoke better English than me, who did the tooth extraction. She also, I heard her speaking French to somebody. She spoke better French than me.
Yeah.
And I took 4 years of French.
I'm sorry.
It's an international city, Tijuana. I tell you,
Yeah.
It's the new Austin. I'm trying to get all the comics down in Tijuana. I'm opening up a comedy club over there, the Fathership.
You know what?
The Mothership.
Oh, man, no.
Ugh.
God.
The Milfship I can live with.
I'm supposed to feel guilty every time I'm on stage for what I'm saying.
She's the least important person in the family.
I know. God, no presence whatsoever.
She gets half the inheritance when her father dies. I'm only applying Islamic law about this.
Dude, okay, finish this meteorologist thing.
Okay.
I need to know about this meteorologist who resigned.
Resigned, disability, PTSD. He wants to get out. Now, they released the emails in which were the death threats. Zach, I think I even put them in the. Can you just even read them? You don't got to see them. Can you just read what the emails that he got were? These were the death threats that he received.
Okay. On June 28th, Hancock wrote to Gloninger, included a reference to departing KCCI meteorologist Matinka Slater. Evidently, Matinka could see through your lies and conspiracy theory on climate change. Evidently, she knew you are full of did shit, because it didn't take her long to leave when your lying ass got there. Pack your liberal conspiracy and go home. And then on July 12th, Hancock wrote again, stating, I didn't watch your worthless weather forecast because you're an idiot, but someone else texted me and said you're still an idiot. Go the hell back to where you came from, douchebag. 3 exclamation points.
He got a handicap placard for this?
No, we'll keep on.
We have a way better case.
Keep going.
On July 15th, Hancock wrote again, this time referencing Anthony Fauci, the immunologist and director of...
He probably has an Anthony Fauci reference signature in the email. Like it's like
the way my dad has "Go Pack Go" for the Packers letters.
Yeah.
Fuck Fauci.
Fuck Fauci's a liar or whatever. Sincerely.
Yeah.
So referencing him, who helped lead the fight against COVID-19, and he told Gloninger, "Go east and drown from the ice cap melting, you dumb fuck." 8 exclamation points.
Kind of sounds like he believes in global warming to me.
That's what I'm hearing.
Sounds like he just doesn't like the guy.
I mean, really, I'm not hearing anything here at any point that sounds like a death threat.
Yeah.
I think this next one is the closest one we got. I think this is it, the final one.
On July 16th, Gloninger wrote on his Twitter account that he had been threatened and harassed over his on-air comments. Quote, police are investigating, he wrote. Quote again, it's mentally exhausting and at times I have not been okay.
This is it.
Is there no other message from him?
That's it. 4 emails.
We fucked up.
We fucked up big time. We received so many more death threats.
I mean, I had severed heads. People sent me pictures of severed heads.
People telling me that you better watch where you're walking. You better fucking you Palestinian pig. Blah 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 blah. Like I'll fucking kill you and your mother. My mom got some shrapnel caught.
Dude, my cousin got a rape threat.
Your cousin?
Yes.
Now here's my favorite part about this entire story. Ultimately, this guy was caught a year ago, and he was processed through the federal court system, and he had to pay a $105 fine for the threats that he was making, which to me is a pretty good deal. $105. I mean,
well, had he said more, I would say that's a good deal. Those are such mild. I feel like he got ripped off.
I'm just saying, in this economy, you're telling me I have an option. It's like for the cost of 2 frozen yogurts, I can threaten a meteorologist. What are we doing here? I think that's what I want to take away from this story is that If you threaten a meteorologist, it's $105.
I walked away.
That's 2 Uber trips.
Dude, that's like 2 visits to a cafe. If I get Mindy a drink and a muffin and me a drink and a muffin, I'm spending about $50,000.
Bro, that is a penis enlargement in Tijuana.
Are you thinking about that? Are you looking into that?
You know what I'm looking for, dude. A reduction, if anything.
Yeah.
These fucking knees, baby.
I know, it hurts.
Crushing me, dude.
Is that why you're wearing knee braces under those jeans? Because your cock weight?
Yeah, that's why it sounds like a rickety when I walk
Forrest
around.
Gump.
I did get the braces in Tijuana, so they're not necessarily from the century.
They're not what I would say metal. They're more wooden. Braces.
Exactly. You may think it's a Monster Energy drink can. Those are my knees. All right, let's call it a show, baby. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Lying Flat. Please follow Bryan on all social media platforms and check out his podcast, Concrete Kicks, featuring Jackson Banks and Willie Simon, the most likable man in comedy. Mm-hmm. Likable to a fault.
We call him the Great White Hope.
The Great White Hope. He truly is.
Yep.
Zach, do you have anything that you want to plug to these people? Social media?
Zach also produces Concrete Kicks.
Ooh.
You can hear him.
Hear more Zach there then, yeah.
Check out Kirk Gone Wild.
Ooh, yeah. Kirk Gone Wild is great. Kirk Gone Wild is very great.
I'm fired up about it. I'm in the new one.
Is that a exclusively Instagram or is that on YouTube?
It's on
That's
YouTube.
more
Okay.
YouTube.
It's more YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I only see Instagram, but I'm not my YouTube algorithm, as you know, it's tainted.
Yeah.
To say the least.
It's just fucking people just testifying.
Basically.
That's all it is.
More or less. Yeah.
Yeah.
People testifying. Sometimes in like traffic cases, I'm just observing. By the time this comes out, I think I might have a Don't Tell setup on youtube.com. So feel free to check that out as well. Subscribe to the podcast, give it a like, all the fun stuff. And until next time, on behalf of everybody here, assalamu alaikum.